So you've just received a TPD payment, which means that you're unlikely to ever be able to return to work again.
Seriously, force majeure is not winning the lottery.
Hi, I'm Phil. This is Skye Simplifies, and today I'm going to be talking about the do's and don'ts after a TPD claim. So this type of video is very difficult because the average claim for TPD is wildly different between different people. So the average claim amount for a superannuation policy is $145,000. While the average TPD claim, if you've set up your policy through a financial advisor, is $664,000. So there is a very vast difference between the outcome after a TPD payment, depending on how much money you've received. But the first thing to think about is don't make any financial decisions in a rush. You're likely going to go through a grieving process with the fact that you are unable to work again. You're likely going to be dealing with some long-term medical condition that you're going to be managing that may have a cost involved. So give yourself a break and don't rush into any financial commitments. So the first thing to think about is get financial advice around that TPD if the money is paid through the super fund. So there are some tax consequences if you pull the money out straight away. So if you pull the money out of the account and you're under age 60, there will be a tax consequence if you pull the money out. So there are some things that you can think about by taking a ongoing pension to reduce the tax, and there are some other things that can be done to minimize the tax that you pay. So it's really important to get financial advice first. But then once you do have the money in your bank account, thinking about some major expenses. So if you have the money to clear off a mortgage, that's really important just to de-stress your financial life. And then the other things to think about is, do you have any major expenses that are either ongoing every year that you need to cover? So, do you have school fees? Do you have childcare fees? All of those things will still need to be paid. So managing a budget around that and allocating that TPD amount to cover several years worth of those expenses is really important. And if you do have some money left over, it's really important. Don't just shove the money underneath your pillowcase, but getting financial advice as to what to do. So managing your long-term budget, what does that look like? How do we manage any income protection payments that may be coming in? Is your income protection policy going to stop after a number of years? They're all really important things that you need to financially budget for. So getting financial advice at that point in time is incredibly important. And the major don'ts is really don't just go and blow the money. You may be thinking a bit of YOLO. You've gone through this TPD event. I'm just going to go to Vegas and have one last trip. It's really important that you do think about that long term, especially if you do have a significant TPD payment. Really factoring in the long-term cost of this disability is super important. And the other thing is, don't go giving money away to friends or family, even though they may be really supportive during this time and be really helpful. Think about that long-term cost of this disability. It's really important to really factor that in.